A mixed up field then. Bortoleto on the left, Albon's the right. Lights out and away we go in Azerbaijan. It's a good start from Bortoleto. Albon's though getting quite close up towards the front. It's going to be side by side into turn 1, and well, Bortoleto just about holding on. Alex Albon in the mix though. Down the inside towards turn 2 we go, and I think this might be Alex Albon's, and it is. P1 on lap 1, and well, Gabriel Bortoleto, well, his miracle qualifying only lasted only a corner. But Alex Albon, up the field we go. And well, if we have a look down the order then, it's Albon, Bortoleto, Tsunoda, Lawson, Hayes, Verstappen, Sainz, Hadjar, Hamilton and Russell as we come through the first sector on the racetrack. Well then, Gabriel Bortoleto, a miracle qualifying yesterday in the wets here in Baku. It's all dried up today, unfortunately, but well, the city streets always provide a safety car. There'd be a few more miracles maybe to come. Let's have a look down the order. Yuki Tsunoda, highest he's qualified since Japan, I believe, which is incredible for Yuki. Well, Max Verstappen looking to try and pounce and reclaim the championship lead, which he lost to West after the Italian Grand Prix. And well, West down at 16th for the minute. He's not had a good week at all. So we'll keep an eye on him as we come up to today. Looking towards the outside, Esteban Ocon, and not quite to be for the Ferrari and our championship leader. But moving up the order then, well, Gabriel Bortoleto 2 seconds now behind Alex Albon, and well, this might not be his day. Alex Albon is streaking away, but Yuki Tsunoda is right on the back of Bortoleto. You're going to see the speed difference of this Red Bull powertrain compared to the Ferrari. Bortoleto squeezes him out, uses the road all effectively, and to the outside now comes Yuki Tsunoda. Bortoleto's going to try and squeeze him out as he can. And well, Verstappen also now up to 4th in the background. Tsunoda also makes it up as well into P2. And well, now the Red Bull sights will be on Alex Albon to try and chase this down. And try and chase down the lead. This could be a big, big moment in the day. Bortoleto's coming back at Tsunoda. To the outside he goes. The Brazilian almost there. And well, the first Brazilian to race in Baku since Felipe Massa in 2016. What a brilliant day it was, and Isaac Hadjar movement up and down the field here. We'll keep an eye on that battle, but oh well, and there's Hadjar and Sainz going wheel to wheel all the way through. And now up towards turn 7 and towards the castle section of the racetrack. A sharp left and weaving up the hill, the finished part in the Formula 1 calendar, this section of corners, and Isaac Hadjar following Carlos Sainz all the way through. West now up to 13th, Lando Norris in 10th for the moment. Verstappen would make a big march on his rivals today if it was to stay the same right now. Bortoleto has been passed by Verstappen, and well, that was probably going to be an easy move. You're not going to really see too much of that. Well, West is a bit further down the field in 13th at the moment, the championship leader. Piastri in 19th. We had an awful qualifying yesterday in the wet conditions, but those who did brave it and were rewarded with the laps that they did take. Here comes Lewis Hamilton on the back of Isaac Hadjar, pulls to the left hand side of the racetrack. Here Hadjar pushing him all the way to the wall. He's a hero from when he was young, and Hamilton passes him on the inside. DRS still going though. Hadjar's coming back at him. Here we go, into turn 1 we go, down the inside Lewis Hamilton, and well, he will force Isaac Hadjar out, and well, ooh, mix in the front here, Bortoleto and Sonny Hayes. Magic from Sonny Hayes, down the inside he goes into the DRS zone, and well, that should be that. And Sainz is now also having a pick of Bortoleto. It's all gone from hero down to 0, and well, he's all the way back down the field he goes. Hayes down the inside, pinched by Bortoleto, and well, the two of them still going at it, coming into turn 6 now on the racetrack. Well, turn 4, sorry. Here comes Bortoleto. He has been passed by Hayes now, and Lawson's up to 4th. So, well, 4 Red Bull Juniors up the top of the pack at the minute. Well, this is a racetrack that Red Bull do love, of course. It's been one of Daniel Ricciardo's race wins in Formula 1 here in Baku. Verstappen's won multiple times here. A big moment in the World Championship in 2021 when he retired with that puncture. And Lewis Hamilton, of course, had his brake magic failure. And Sainz looking to the outside. This would be a brilliant move from Carlos Sainz. Wow, wow, wow. What a move that was from Sainz on the brakes. Coming in to turn 15. Well, as we come out of 16 now, Bortoleto might drop like a stone going through here. This is going to be an interesting moment for Lewis Hamilton too, as he looks to make his way up through the field. The closer, well, if they play it right, strategies could play into safety cars today, but Lewis Hamilton side by side with Bortoleto and through, or is he? Hamilton down a bit straight line speed here as we come in towards the first corner, and well, Hamilton and well, Norris down the inside of Hadjar too. West is also in the background looking at the back of Norris, and well, West will sneak up the inside on Lando, but it won't quite just to be this time. And well, ooh, bit of end plate going flying off. I think it was Hadjar's car. West and Hadjar making contact, but well, the two of them is never going to stop them. Norris then holding P9 as it stands behind Gabriel Bortoleto. He can't afford to lose too much time behind the Sauber. Well, if you want to know more about the where his teammate is, a minute 19th behind Oscar Piastri. Through we go then once again. Lap 4 of the Grand Prix. Your race leader is Alexander Albon. The first laps he's led for a long, long time. And well, Williams' first consecutive laps led for, I believe, since 2016. Off the top of my head. It's probably a stat I need to look at somewhere. If you want, oh, West almost in the wall as well. In the background, he did lose a bit of time, and well, Lando Norris is stuck behind Gabriel Bortoleto, but we'll have an excellent chance to try and take him a bit further up the racetrack. Here we go, 16, and now through towards turn 17. It's a long, long straight here at Baku. The run leads all the way down the backstretch. We go on the public roads. And well, Lando Norris pulls to the left-hand side. Hamilton's going to pull to the right ahead of Carlos Sainz, is the man who replaced at Ferrari. And well, Hamilton up to 6th. Norris up to 8th past Bortoleto. And well, West in the background might be thinking, I need to get a move on as well for my own championship hopes. Well, Lewis Hamilton will probably want to do the same because he knows he's not many points behind Max Verstappen now. 240 to 23 behind Max. Could it be a day? And I think that's West on Bortoleto in the background. Squeezes him out. And well, Gabriel Bortoleto has dropped 10 places in 5 laps. And that is not a good day for Ferrari at all. For Sauber Ferrari at all. Well, let's move up the field then. Well, Hamilton and Hayes up in 5th and 6th for the minute, chasing Liam Lawson. Isaac Hadjar's fallen to P13. And well, Max Verstappen 2 seconds behind Alex Albon, and I'm sure he will chase him down enough to try and take him at some point. Well, things are not so permanent. Apologies, Rose, you had the replay controls on the screen pretty much the entire first few laps. Apologies. Just gripped into the action. But Max Verstappen leading the way, and well, leading the way for Red Bull. P2 and 3 between him and Yuki Tsunoda at the minute. And well, it'd be a big day for Tsunoda if he gets some points today. But Verstappen isn't quite catching in the back. But Sonny Hayes, he's up to P4 in the Apex GP. Hamilton chasing behind as well, looking to try and build on it. But Sonny Hayes up into P4, the highest the Apex GP cars have run in a Grand Prix format this season so far. Well, it's a bit of excitement between, well, and that Lawson now pulling to the left-hand side. He's got to defend Hamilton going up towards turn 3, and now it is almost there. I don't think it's quite to be. Hamilton up to P5, and he'll go chasing after Sonny Hayes now. And well, that is a big, big drop down the order, and I think that's Hadjar. He's been absolutely squeezed out, and well, I think Hadjar had a bit of a mistake. I don't know where he's been, but what's happened, but he has lost most of his front wing, You see the end plates have gone off that front of that RB. Well, might it be that Hadja is going to cause a bit of a gap now between the two Haas cars? Well, the two Mercedes have not really been at the races, you might say, so far this season. Russell did what a big kick of oversteer from Antonelli. And well, very, very lucky from Kimi Antonelli. Well, Liam Lawson, well, a gaggle of cars here. West is on the back of Norris and looking to try and go down the inside on Liam Lawson. Maybe get all three of them. Oh, that's a tight move, and I think the two of them did collide at some point. West has got to go deep, so have to give it back to Norris now. Norris down the back straight we go. Verstappen's past Alex Albon for the lead. We're going to go have a look down towards turn 1 we go. And well, Albon is absolutely past and absolutely toast as well. Max Verstappen will be hunting down his championship lead back again. He's held so long this season. But well, Albon will have DRS again as we go down the back straight one more. And between turns 2 and 3, but Verstappen is really trying to build a gap, and I think he's done an excellent job of doing so. Things happening all over the racetrack at the minute, and I think we can go and see Isaac Hadja is in the box. Let's see how this does for the Red Bull team. A complete change of front wing. And well, it will be hard tyres, I think, for Isaac Hadja. I think he was on the mediums anyway, but we'll have to see a bit later in the race. But a huge shame for Hadja. He qualified so well in the top 10 and he didn't quite hold on to it. Albon, though, has dropped out of DRS range to Verstappen. So I think for Williams today, a podium might be on the cards, but we'll have to see how it all plays out in the next few laps then. As we're going to come up soon to the first pit stops, and well, 2 stop recommended for today, of course, around Baku. You do get the odd surprise, though, every now and again. And well, then we're going to have a look back down the field, and well, Alex Albon, you can see the helicopter shot here. This is brilliant. We'll get a bit more of this in the race, but well, Lewis Hamilton on the back of Sonny Hayes now, and looking to try and make his way up into P4, which would be big points for Lewis in terms of his championship hopes, closing the gap to West and Verstappen. Well, what a resurgence it's been for Lewis Hamilton. He's been mixed around the midfield a bit in the past couple of years. Of course, won at Silverstone last year for Mercedes as well as Belgium. Didn't get to stand on the top step that day though. But he's won 3 in a row between United Kingdom, Belgium. He didn't win at Zandvoort last time out. Monza last time out. He did win as well. So he's really, really picking up the pace and really ramping it up as we go into the Asian part of the Formula 1 World Championship this year. Or Singapore next, then after that we start to do United States Grand Prix, then Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas. The championship's really starting to hot up here as we come into the latter stage of the season. Don't miss the rest of the action on Westie TV. We're trying to do it every week, get a race out to you before Christmas. And the Abu Dhabi finale, 20th of December, and maybe a bit of support races as well, which should be quite fun, should be quite interesting. We will have to see how this plays out. Well, Hamilton, P3 then, and well, we're going to keep an eye at the back, and look at that, what an angle that is. And well, West and Norris, down the main straight we go, and I think Norris might have Carlos Sainz here. It's going to be tight. He does pull to the right hand side. Lando Norris to the outside on Carlos Sainz, and he does almost get the move done. Carlos Sainz keeps her foot in, but Sainz is, well, and I think West is boxing. He is boxing. Hard tyres for the Brit. We've been off the mediums, and now we go onto the hard compound tyre. How long is he going to lead? Because this looks like an undercut from West. have to see how long he does leave it, but well, Isaac Hadjar is 33 seconds behind West at the minute. He's just only coming down the main straight, so Max Verstappen and Albon also pitted, by the way. Although something's happened to Alex Albon, I'm not sure what, but he has, I believe, boxed. So we will keep an eye on that as we go down. Max Verstappen, though, 8 seconds to Yuki Tsunoda. Oh, well, the front three separated by 11 seconds now. This could be a big moment in the World Championship for Verstappen today if he was to get the win. Well, we'll have to see now. Does Max Verstappen decide to box? Because he can probably set the precedent. He can probably set the standard if he can. And I think he is pulling towards the pits. He is pulling into the pit lane. Let's see how he does then. We come into pit lane. And Red Bull, well, I don't think they're ready for him there. They've rushed out very late. Tsunoda's still going. Hamilton's into the box though. Verstappen, good stop from the Red Bull pit crew. Lewis Hamilton in next for Ferrari. Well, let's see how it is. It's another set of hard tyres, so we're going for mediums at the end. Well, Verstappen comes out in P2. A lot of cars coming into the pits now. Norris, I think, also in the pits. Good stop from him. There's West. West's there. So Norris, I think, has just about held out ahead of West. The two of them are going to come out right in the pits. Alonso's fighting this out with Norris right on pit exit. West going to cut under the inside. And now the three of them are all battling for a top 10 spot. Look at the background. And Hayes is also trying to fight this out as well. Well, West does get past Norris. Eventually, the warmer tyres really helping him out there. That's not going to really going to help him throughout this race. And well, West is also there. West of a knock on and also through. And there is something's gone wrong, and I think we have a safety car. We have a safety car out on track. Lawson, and yes, something's happened to Liam Lawson. He's lost his front wing, and I think he spun round. He's spun round, and this is going to throw Yuki Tsunoda maybe a lifeline. He's stayed out long enough to maybe get the stop done. Will he stay out ahead of that Max Verstappen? This is the big $1 million question. It's also helped, I think, this has helped Gabriel Bortoleto too. A lot of people have already made their stops. Unless you've got a good gap, unless you've got a really good gap to the car in front, the car behind, this won't work. So, Tsunoda's in the pits. Verstappen crosses the line. Tsunoda, I don't think he's going to come out far enough in front. There's Albon. Bortoleto's into the pits. Alex Albon still going. Will it be a race on pit exit? It will be. Albon does get the move done. Well, this will also play into the hands of people like Piastri and West as well. Pierce and Hayes as well. This could be an interesting one. Oliver Behrman. But Hamilton will profit of this too, and so will West. P4 and 5 for the Ferraris, our Constructors' Championship leaders, the best car this year that's been produced. But Albon, well, that's Verstappen and Albon lead the way then. Albon holding out a very good P2 at the minute, but well, it might not play into the hands of Alex Albon. Of course, he had a very good gap because of Gabriel Bortoleto in behind, but the two Mercedes have also made a bit of a profit off this too, 10th and 11th now. Well, it should really separate the men from the boys in terms of the cars. But our safety car, but Mylander out there, has made its annual appearance at Baku once again. So then, Max Verstappen then leads the way. Albon, Tsunoda, Hamilton, West, Norris, Hayes, Sainz, Bortoleto and Russell the top 10. Piastri in 15th, another one of our championship contenders. Well, he's currently sitting 4th in the championship behind Lewis Hamilton. 233 points, 44 off the top. So it's still realistically in anyone's to play for, really, in the top 5 as well. Norris could come back in the next few races, of course. But it's not looking likely. Azerbaijan is, of course, one of the corner points of the season. It's the transition from Europe to the North American and Asian rounds in the past 10 years. It's been an incredible run for Azerbaijan as well. Since 2016, it was originally the European Grand Prix, and now sits all the way here. But Verstappen, well, he's known very well around here. I'm just going to Google when Verstappen's... It's typical here at the Westie team, but we have to Google the stats sometimes. It happens. But Alex Albon, well, he's not running the top 2 for more than 10 laps for a long, long time. West in the background, I think, is trying to size up as well, but... Max Verstappen's won twice in Baku. And we'll look to make it a 3rd race win here today. The lap 12 here in Baku, we're still waiting for, and that looks like George Russell. George Russell's dropping out the pack and dropping out the order. It is engine related, and well, George Russell is out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Horrible news for George Russell. Well, Max Verstappen. This will probably keep the safety car out another lap, but my oh my, that's bad luck for Mercedes. More engine failures for Mercedes this season. I think we've seen any other season. The power unit's just not really been there all season long. And well, it will all come to fruition when, I'm sure, and everything will be realised maybe as we come to 2026. Mercedes were rumoured to have the best power unit on the grid next year. When we move to a 50-50 mix of electric and hybrid engine. V6 turbos is still in fashion in Formula 1 for our next regulation change. And well, I don't think this is going to be, I think we're going to be out for another lap. We are. That safety car is not coming in, but I'm sure it will come in at the end of this lap, because that field is ready and raring to go. You can see all the cars are, they stream down the back straight, and Liam Lawson has now caught up to the rear of the field, which means that, well, when we get going again, it will be anyone's race. Remember, it'll be one more stop to take. One more stop to make for some of these drivers as they've gone hard to hard. It will probably be a medium tyre for the end of the Grand Prix. Oh, I burnt my lander. It's one of the annoyingly long laps on the Formula 1 calendar, Baku. It's very quick and high speeds, but it's a long circuit as you go around the city centre. And well, Hamilton and West will be looking to try and take on these front three for the podium positions. And West will need to cut his losses. Currently it's 15 back to Verstappen at the minute, so if it was to stay as is, Verstappen would lead the championship going into Singapore. And Singapore is another street track with high speeds and a lot of twists in the tail. Very experienced. Lewis Hamilton's pretty much raced there every single season of his career, bar 2007 and 2020. And Alonso as well. Good measure, has raced every Singapore Grand Prix. Hamilton and Alonso have been there. And now, safety car is going to come in. Verstappen, well, he likes to back the pack up, doesn't he? We'll see how he does it this time around. Will Max Verstappen hold up the pit at the field. Slowly getting a bit quicker. But you can see the safety car ahead of him. You can't pass the safety car. Safety car's going to peel off. But when will Verstappen floor it? We're going to wait and see when Max Verstappen floors it. Is it going to be time? There we go. We're underway. Back again here in Baku. And racing speed once again. Hamilton and West in the background, of course, are going to fight it out. But Verstappen, Albon, Tsunoda, Hamilton, West, Norris, Hayes, Sainz, Bortoleto, Antonelli, the top 10. Now, as we get back under racing speed, halfway through the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And well, who do you call? This could be an incredible second half of the Grand Prix. Here comes Yuki Tsunoda. Albon's pushing him all the way to the inside. And I think Albon might just hold on to this one. He does. Brilliant racing between the two of them. And the three Red Bull Juniors are really fighting this out in the middle here. Hamilton and West are nose to tail as we come through up towards the castle section. Now, is it going to be... And West is sneaking down the inside. And well, looking into the castle section now. Up the hill we go. Around one of Baku's most famous landmarks. Here in the Azerbaijani capital. Verstappen already 2 seconds ahead. This is incredible from Max Verstappen. Typical style for him. And West trying to get every bit of road to try and get Lewis Hamilton maybe down the straight and into turn 1. No DRS yet, of course. We'll have to wait another lap before it will open up. But is it to be then for West? On the back of Lewis Hamilton, he knows that both Ferraris are fighting for the championship. And well, here comes Yuki Tsunoda down the inside on Alex Albon. Norris fighting it out with Sonny Hayes as well. Tsunoda to the inside. Albon breaks later. But I think it will be Yuki Tsunoda forming a Red Bull 1-2. And West is also dipping up and down the inside. 4 cars vying for second place. And well, Lando Norris in the background finally up to 6th. It's been a pull from McLaren, but Albon still fighting Tsunoda to the inside. Into turn 3, it's going to be a speculative one, but I think it's going to be the same as last lap. Again, Tsunoda holds out this time. And Albon is finally forced down to 3rd by the Red Bull. Hamilton and West in behind, still 4th and 5th. And still plenty of time for these two to try and fight it out. Well then, Verstappen, Tsunoda, Albon, Hamilton, West. Your top 5 all vying for the victory here. Verstappen, though, is streaking away. 3 seconds ahead. And, well, after losing the Dutch Grand Prix a couple of races ago, and also having a bit of a mishap at the Italian Grand Prix, and finishing in 5th, I think it was 5th, it's all going right today for Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. Lap 15 of 26. And well, the 2 Ferraris in behind. Yuki Tsunoda will mark on the chase. Albon and West and Hamilton in the background. Here comes Lewis Hamilton on the back of Alex Albon. He's going to pull all the way. The Ferrari engine, the most powerful on the grid. And he will streak straight through. You can see the light on West's rear diffuser that is flashing. That means there's no electrical energy left in that battery pack on that hybrid engine. That MG UK unit. The delivery's there, but it's going to be very minimal. Albon. Down the straight we go. And well, will it be enough for him to hold on? West to the inside, that was very late. And there was a bit of contact between the two of them as well. But West up to 4th. And he's not. No, he's gone deep into the corner. And Alex Albon will hold out P4 for the time being. But it's not quite to be yet. It's not all over. West down the inside. He's up to P4. And it's Red Bull, Ferrari, Ferrari. Will we see a battle for the victory then here in Baku? Well, we don't want it all to end in tears, but Hamilton 1.5 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda now. And Tsunoda's holding the gap to Max Verstappen 2. Will we see a battle between Hamilton and Tsunoda a bit later on in the race, but Hamilton is on the charge. He's liking this Ferrari a bit better than he said at the start of the season. There's been a development curve for Ferrari this season, and they're on the up and in championship contention as well. Well, Liam Lawson, after his earliest spin that walked out the safety car, up to 18th now. I must say, doing an excellent job for in the background. We can see Sainz and Hayes going at it together, side by side. Into turn one we go, and Carlos Sainz just about sneaks it up the inside on Sonny Hayes, and well, that will be, but well, I don't think it's over actually. Hayes still pushing and still trying, and well, forced out by Carlos Sainz, and now he won't have DRS down the straight. Here comes Gabriel Bortoletto all the way to the wall, and it's going to be free wide, but no, not quite free wide actually, sorry. Here comes Hayes though, he's going to defend the corner, and well, he will retain 7th place in the end. And defence once more from the American driver. Well, we're looking further forward then. Albon and Norris now will come into blows, and well, will Norris try and get this done quickly and swiftly, because he is a man in need of championship points, Lando Norris, and he is seriously going to be in trouble if he doesn't score highly today. Another retirement, and I'm sure he's at the World Championship hunt if West doesn't score as highly as I think he's going to today. My maths is a bit off, but we've still got 3 sprints left of the year. Remember, United States, Qatar, and Brazil. And well, I think everyone still calls it the Brazilian Grand Prix, but legally it's Sao Paulo apparently. And well, it's a very spread out front 4 now, and well, let's have a look down the order then. Sonny Hayes will be under pressure now from Carlos Sainz. Sainz pulls to the inside. Hayes pushes him all the way to the wall. And well, there we go. Sainz finally up to P7 and will hope to hold it. Good move from the Spaniard. The smooth operator, as many call him in the paddock and in the media. That was incredibly smooth actually, overtaking wise from Carlos Sainz, but no DRS this time to defend against Sonny Hayes. Hayes forced all the way to the wall and well cut out by Carlos Sainz, and I think that position will now remain his. He's now going to try and build the gap to Lando Norris to try and catch his teammate. And what a brilliant day it would be for Williams as well. Double points on the cards for the Grove team. Right on board with Hayes now. This is such a cool section of circuit as you go up the hill, to flick left as close as you get to the wall. 2 barriers. Oh, free actually juts out at you straight away, and it's about not clipping them. And well, Hamilton has closed the gap slightly to Tsunoda, but it's not quite enough for DRS this time, I don't think. But 1.1 seconds the gap between himself and Lewis Hamilton, and there is still time in this race. 8 laps to go here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I think West hit the wall in the background as well, ever so slightly. But we are still going here in Azerbaijan, and well, Norris and what is Alex Albon boxing. Is this time for the first set of pit stops to begin? Well then, Alex Albon, you can see in the background, I think Piastri in the box as well, and also that is Isaac Hadjar too. So, good stop from Albon onto the mediums then, for a last lap salvo, to try and get back in the points, but everyone's going to have to stop again anyway, so all is not lost for these guys who are boxed now. Essentially, they're going to have to take the mediums a bit longer. Actually, they'll get them up to speed, and they'll be flying. Absolutely flying. But let's have a look then, a bit further up the pack then. Sainz leads away with Hayes, Bortoleto and Pierce in the pack now. Between P6 and 9. One on top, one on the bottom. Anyways, moving on. Lewis Hamilton then, 5 tenths now behind Yuki Tsunoda, and well, might we start to see a move made into turn 1 from Lewis Hamilton. We're going to follow all the way down towards the first corner on the racetrack. Tsunoda will have nothing to defend with but battery. Here comes Lewis Hamilton. He might even make the move before the DRS is open. And well, actually, Hamilton's going to box. So a nice easy stop for Max Verstappen too as well. Verstappen boxes. It's going to be a set of medium tyres for him. And well, West will go out and chase down Tsunoda. Hamilton's had a good stop too on the mediums. But he's now got Pierce and Bortoleto fighting it out. Joshua Pierce forces him out P3. And that might just about be that. And well, Bortoleto still fighting this out, but Verstappen will have some traffic to contend with now. And 3.6 seconds behind is Lewis Hamilton, but Bortoleto and Pierce are still fighting it out. And well, Bortoleto, I think, might have got the move done. He has got the move done. P3 for Gabriel Bortoleto still. And Joshua Pierce will have a bit more that he needs to do to attack with. Well then, lap 20 of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And well, Lewis Hamilton is chasing down Max Verstappen. Well, he's only 1.4 behind. He's stuck behind this gaggle of cars, which is Bortoleto and Pierce. And well, it's not helping him at all. This could play into the hands massively of West. And also Tsunoda too. Well, Verstappen tries the outside and Pierce shuts the door. Well, APX GP have been renowned for defensive tactics in their time, but this is one of them. And well, out of turn 16 we go, and onto the back stretch we go. Hamilton is right on the back of Max Verstappen. And well, we're going to see West and Tsunoda also fight it out. And West is also trying to get in the pits right behind Yuki Tsunoda. But we can see Bortoleto now pushing all the way. And well, Verstappen and Hamilton are going to come to blows again in turn 1. Here we go. All the way down the straight we go. Where's West and Tsunoda? They're not going to fight this one surely. But Verstappen and Hamilton are now nose to tail. And West also jumps Tsunoda in the pits. So, will we have a battle on our hands for the last 5 laps of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix? Here comes Hamilton. DRS open, not quite to be. Defends the inside. Verstappen very, very well. Verstappen then, well, 2 tenths. Hamilton is behind, and well, this could be a really exciting last 5 laps of the Grand Prix. Verstappen right on the back of Lewis Hamilton, and still, well, Hamilton's trying to get in the clear air, and we can see West and Tsunoda in the background. The gap is going to come down ever so slightly. What did West go on to? Medium tyres. Same as Tsunoda too. Well, we're right on board Lewis Hamilton. It's tight, that. You can see the delta on the dash, and Lewis is absolutely foot to the floor as we come through the last section. He's won many times here, a couple of times here at Baku before Hamilton. 2017, when he famously clashed with Sebastian Vettel back on the just before the main straight under the safety car. And Hamilton accused Vettel of brake testing him, but he's on the back of his former championship rival before and his championship rival for this year. Hamilton takes the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and down up into first place he goes. Verstappen drops back down to second, and Hamilton will be on the charge and on the way to another Grand Prix victory this season. While Verstappen is in the background, and well, we have DRS again, but Max Verstappen We'll be looking to put the charge on now and try and get back into the lead of the race. More stops up and down the grid. Norris is really dropping down the order. I don't know what's happened to Lando. It's a slow stop and a new front wing for Lando Norris. So that's going to be him probably out of championship contention. A horrible, horrible moment for Lando Norris. As it stands, Hamilton will be right up on the close of Max Verstappen. I think it'll be 12 points behind Max Verstappen now. He will be. Well, they get ever closer between these two. These two have had absolutely incredible battles over the years, and Hamilton is still looking to try and fight this all the way to the checkered flag. But Verstappen is just a second ahead now. Well, a second behind, sorry, to Lewis Hamilton. He won't have DRS going down the main straight now. And West, well, he's closed the gap by a second on the last lap. He went wide there, very wide at the back off turn 16. Through 17 now, but he's right on the charge and really trying to put it on Max Verstappen. The pressure is on between the top three. 4 laps to go at the line for Lewis Hamilton. Well, Alex Albon is doing absolutely incredibly well in 5th position. Well, might we see a few last lap moments potentially? Bortoleto, after starting on pole, has dropped down to 12th as well. And well, he might be down to 13th now. Gasly fighting him side by side all the way down towards turn 2. And Bortoleto holds out. It might not be for long as well, this train of cars stretches all the way from Sonny Hayes all the way down the grid, and it's a long way down. And Gasly under pressure from Oliver Behrman in the background as well. Behrman to the outside, trying it and not quite getting there just enough. West now 2.3 behind Max Verstappen. Getting ever closer, but the two, Gasly and Behrman, are side by side all the way down towards turns 7 and 8 on the racetrack. Well, we'll look up a bit further. West is now 1.7 by Max Verstappen. Is this going to be Ferrari in clear air making progress? Verstappen is really dropping down and falling down the order. Well, McLaren have had a shocking day today. Norris down in 21st. Piastri in 6th at the minute. And well, the Constructors' Championship is really heating up as well. Well, West on the back and looking to try and maybe take Max Verstappen into turn 1. Not quite close enough this time. Verstappen, well, he'll throw the kitchen sink to try and defend this from West. And well, not a lot of battery for West here going in towards turn 2. Max Verstappen, though, holds the place. West with DRS open in the background. 3 laps to go. And well, will the Ferraris try? And maybe West gets it wrong. He's got it wrong. He's hit the back of Verstappen. West down into the runoff area. And well, he's going to be stuck. This is an awful moment for West. And he's got front wing damage too, I think. Verstappen continues onwards. But another huge moment in the World Championship for these two. And I think this could be day done for West. Is it going to be? Oh, he's stuck in the runoff area and he's dropped all the way down out the points. And well, I don't think he's going to lose anything. And well, we'll see. How bad is the front wing damage? It's bad. He's lost most of that front wing end plate on the left-hand side. You can see the difference. The white almost flap on the aerodynamic structure of the wing, and he's going very deep. But well, West, I think it was Verstappen who moved across to defend, and West was just a bit too late on the brakes. But it does mean Yuki Tsunoda up to P3 in the Grand Prix. It'll be a first podium. And look at him, he's lost all the downforce possible. And well, he will not be pleased taking this all the way back. And oh, he does lose more wing. He loses more wing, hits the wall as well. And I think that's a puncture as well for West. It is a puncture. You can see that front right is delaminated all the way, and that's going to be an absolute nightmare for West. He's got no front wing at all, and this is a huge moment in the World Championship because it means West's going to lose the championship lead if Verstappen stays as is. No penalty or no further investigation necessary from the stewards for Verstappen, but West is really struggling out there, and Norris is a good measure, and he is now running last in the Grand Prix, but that is going to be so risky going up to such high speed. Well, Norris is going to get past Lawson, and he will, but West, this is a horrible, horrible moment for the Brits, the championship leader as well. And into the pits he comes. Well, that'll be floor damaged a lot. I don't think it will be a happy end to West's day. And well then, out of the pits he comes, and he's going to be a monumental gap behind now to Liam Lawson. 28 seconds, and I think that might be his end to his weekend here in Azerbaijan. The damage to the floor, and you can see he's trying to move the car about to try and get a bit of heat as well into the tyres. But this man today, he's come all the way from far down the order. Some penalties and a mixed up grid from a wet qualifying yesterday have really helped him. But on to one last lap, Lewis Hamilton will go. A brilliant day then for Alex Albon too. Antonelli, Hayes, Ocon, Sainz and Hülkenberg too is going to pick up some points for the Kick Sauber team. But Lewis Hamilton has been absolutely flawless this afternoon in the Ferrari. Worked his way up the field, gave it his best shot all day long. And we're going to see another Ferrari driver take the top step here in Azerbaijan. Verstappen, though, will reclaim his championship lead with West so far down the order. A late braking manoeuvre all went wrong between the two title rivals and the top two in the championship. And well, Lewis Hamilton will close the gap then to 15 points between the top spots. And it'll be 10 points behind West. A gap that was 100 points before Silverstone is now all the way down to 10. But as Hamilton has been brilliant all day long, another win of the season, his 6th of the season it will be. But Lewis Hamilton has done an excellent job today to lead home here in Azerbaijan, fly the flag for Ferrari once more. Lewis Hamilton wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and it's a brilliant day for Ferrari. And, well, Max Verstappen comes home in 2nd place and reclaims his championship lead. Yuki Tsunoda is going to take a podium finish for the first time since Japan. What a brilliant day. Alex Albon too on the podium in P4. Piastri to P5. Antonelli then will come home in 6th place. Hayes, Ocon, Sainz, and well, Hülkenberg is going to pick up the last points playing position on the racetrack. But it all went wrong today for West too. He's not even on the final straight yet. That's how bad it's been for so many. But Lewis Hamilton wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. What a brilliant day it's been for him. A brilliant win then from Lewis Hamilton, all the way from the bottom half of the field, all the way to the top step of the podium. Well, Max Verstappen in 2nd position, and Yuki Tsunoda with his first podium since the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka earlier in the season. And well then, looking towards the top 10, Alex Albon, a brilliant 4th place from him, all the way from the front row. Nico Hülkenberg, the only point in the Sauber, despite Gabriel Bortoleto's pole position. Hayes in 7th, a top best for Apex GP so far this season. Antonelli picks up the points in 6th. Ocon and Sainz also in the top 10 too. To the driver's standings then, Verstappen retake the championship lead with 4 points. And well, Hamilton closes the gap, 12 points now to West in the championship. Piastri also getting closer and closer. It's less than 40 points now in the title hunt. But it could all change when we next go to Singapore.